What is going on, guys? Madden 26. Now, this is just a video of me going over my franchise, right? How my franchise is going. Am I struggling? Am I doing good? Am I not? Now, I created a coach named Cortez Wendell. I just make up names. These are not based on anybody. I just come up with stuff in my mind, but he's our head coach. We didn't use Pete Carroll. So I selected the Raiders, and I will tell you right off the bat, our season is not going very well. It's just not. When I play these seasons, I leave it as is. If I struggle, regardless of how I do, I just let it go. I've played, if I don't make the playoffs, then I just don't make the playoffs. And right now, we're not going to make the playoffs. I'm going to show you. Well, it looks like we're not going to make the playoffs. By the way things are looking, we're probably not going to get there. Okay, let's take a look. We are last in the AFC West. We're last. We're 6-5-1. So I look at ties as losses. So we're like 6-6, basically. We have the least amount of wins in our whole division. So now we basically have to win out. We got swept already by the Chargers. Our season's not going well. Now, before you place any judgment, I want to show you that I'll tell you where our weakness is. Our weakness is our defense. As you can see, we lost our season opener. We wasn't really scoring points. We were trying to get the feel of our team and what plays work. We got the feel of it against the Chargers. We beat them in that game. 35-31, it was a close game, and then we won 28-24. Then we lost 31-28. And then we won, and then all of a sudden we went on this losing streak. Well, again, like I told you, ties to me are like losing, basically. But anyway, we were on a nice little row here. We beat the Colts, and then we beat the Titans. Now, these are not good teams. They're not a very good team. We even beat the Chiefs. That was a close game that went down to the finish. We struggled defensively. That's where our struggle is. Then we got beat by the Jags. We should have not have lost that game. We blew that game. We shouldn't have lost. And then we lost to the Broncos. And then we got beat by we tied with the Cowboys. And then we beat the Browns, of course. That was not a hard game to win. And then we got beat by the Chargers. Now, this game here, we blew that game. We lost that game on a roughing the kicker call. We were in position to win that game, and I'm getting ready to show you the play that costed us the game. So this is the play right here that costed us the game. I'm going to show it to you in real time. Now look at the score. We were actually down 4 points, 17-21. That was the third quarter. And it was, almost 3 minutes left in the third quarter. Watch what happens. I'm going to show you in real time. Not in real time, but because this is already recorded, but watch what happens. So after that, now look at where we were at. We got close to the goal line, and we were in position to score, and we probably would have been up 3 at that point, and we would have had a really good chance to win the game. Now, we lost by 4 in real life, but what I'm saying is they kept the football, and they would score a touchdown and be up 28-17. After that, but we came back 24-28. We didn't come back, but I'm saying we ended up losing by 4, just like we're losing by 4 here. So with that, if this play would have stood, we were up by 4 at this point. We ended up losing by 4. That means you add 7 points. We likely would have scored a touchdown. We win this game. I truly do believe that, because without that blocked field goal, we still end up with a 4-point game. So imagine what we would do with it. So, I mean, that's what happened. That costed us that game against the Chargers. No, I was wrong. I said we lost by 4. We lost by 10 points in that game. We ended up with 25 points because we ended up with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion in that game. Now, I'm going to tell you why my team is struggling this year. We don't put enough pressure on our quarterback. We on the other team's quarterback, they have a lot of time in the pocket, and for that reason, they convert on too many third downs. We just don't shut them down on third down. We're getting beat on third down. That's where our biggest problem is. Even when we win games, sometimes they're very close. Some of them, like that was close, that was close, that was close. It's because we don't produce on third down. They always convert. We need to be able to convert on third down. That's our biggest problem. So we've tried to because we don't really have trouble scoring. Let me show you how well our players are doing. Let's go to league leaders because our guys are playing very well. Let's go to the NFL as a whole so I can just show you kind of where we're at here. Let's see. Passing yards. So my guy is Max Chase. He's number 2 in passing yards. He's number 2 to Joe Burrow in just about everything. He's number 2 to Joe Burrow in completions. He's not number 2, and I don't care about he's down here in attempts. I don't need more attempts. Now, touchdown passes, I think I'm number 1. No. Kirk Cousins. How am I getting beat by Kirk Cousins? Anyway, Kirk Cousins is number 1 in passing touchdowns. We're number 2 in that. My guy only has 1 interception. Now, I have the best completion percentage, 73. Okay. Yards per game, we're second to Joe Burrow. But anyway, you get my point. Now let's take a look at rushing. We're doing okay rushing the ball too. Let's take a look at rushing touchdowns. Where's my guy at? My guy's right here. He's tied in first place for rushing touchdowns. He's not necessarily at the top in yards. I mean, he's doing okay, 820, and he's averaging like exactly 5 yards a carry. So he's doing fairly okay. So our offense is producing. I mean, we're doing very well. Our receiving, Bowers, he has the most receptions this year, out of everybody. And he's our tight end. Let's take a look. Who's touchdown leader? Bowers is right there in touchdowns. So we have guys doing very well in that area. And I think this guy right here is a created player. He is also up there in yards. So we're producing on offense. Our defense is where our problem is. We're not getting stops at the right time. And again, sometimes I'm not, and we're trying to put pressure on the quarterback, but this game is pretty intelligent. Honestly, I think it plays a lot like the NFL. That's why, I played on all Madden because the teams make very intelligent decisions when you're playing against them. They do a good job of that. So it's up to you to put enough pressure on their quarterback or the coverage. You can't pressure both because guys are going to get open if that quarterback can stand back there for a while and give people a chance to get open. And that's basically what's happening. That's why we're struggling. Now, as you can see, Cortez Wendell, our creative coach, is a 61% rating. His approval is considered good. That's a little bit surprising, but I think it's because we're being the Raiders. And, because we picked such a poor team, our expectation, they consider that good for a team like that. But I could tell you right now, we don't look like we're going to make the playoffs. Let me look at the team's schedule and see if we have a good chance. Our next game is against the Broncos. That's going to be a tough one. We lost last time. Hopefully we can redeem ourselves. The Eagles are probably going to be tough. The Texans, I feel okay against the Texans. Giants, Chiefs. The last 3 games of the year, they're not automatic, but I feel like we have a really good chance in those games. I feel like I can beat the Chiefs, even though We beat them last time, but it was a close game. We barely beat them. I think we finished off the game at the end with the final drive to beat the Chiefs. I feel confident enough against the Chiefs. I definitely feel like we should definitely be able to beat the Giants. The Eagles is kind of iffy, but to be honest with you, we have we have 5 games left. I think we might be able to win out. We might be able to win out. We might be able to, but even if we win out, there's a chance that we won't make the playoffs, even winning out. That's how bad we're struggling. Because let's see, our record is 6-5-4, right? Yeah, so our record is 6-5-4. So if we win out, we still ended up losing. We're gonna be what? 12? No, 14-5-1. So I mean, no, I did that math completely wrong. It's 11-5-1 because of 17 games. Oh my goodness, that's like a wild card. Let me take a look at the league standings because, what are we, the NFC West, the AFC West? Okay, so, oh boy. So that means some of these other teams are going to have to lose games as well because if we win out, I have to assume these teams are going to lose at least 5 or more. Again, we're going to play the Chiefs and Broncos. So if we could give them losses, that'll automatically put us over them if we win out because that's going to put them at 6 losses each, and we're still only going to be at 5. Then that leaves us with the Chargers. We have to hopefully depend on them to lose at least 2 more games. And then we will be the leader in our division. Now, we still may not be because, again, the Chargers have already beaten us in both games. No, they didn't. We beat them in the first game. We beat them. We just have to keep the Broncos from sweeping us. The Chiefs are not going to sweep us. We've already beaten the Chiefs once. But we have to beat the Broncos because they beat us. Now, the Chargers, we beat them once and they beat us once. So with that being said, all we have to do, since we own a victory against, we play the Broncos again. If we could beat them in the next game, that would tie the series on them, and then we just have to beat the Chiefs, and we don't have to worry about the Chargers because we've already played them twice. We have 1 win and 1 loss against them. So since that would give us a victory over every team in our division, which means if we can get the Chargers to lose 1 more game, because again, if they lose 5 and we lose 5, we have 1 draw. They would have 1 extra win. That would put them over us. Because remember that we have a tie. So if they end up with 5 losses and we have 5 losses, they're gonna have 1 more win than us because they don't have a draw. So we need the Chargers to lose 2 more games for the rest of the year. That's what we need. If we can win out and the Chargers can lose 2 more games, we could be a playoff team. So we're keeping our hopes up that we can get to the playoffs. Hopefully we can do that. I may live stream one of my games because that's what I might do. I may live stream one of the games. Hopefully we can win out because I really, really want to get to the playoffs in this thing. It's a struggle. It's getting real tight. Hopefully we can do it. But anyway, I really love the way this game plays. It's a challenge, and that's why I chose the Raiders. I wasn't going to choose like one of the best teams in football. I just wasn't going to do it because I did that before 1 year and it was fairly easy. We ended up getting to the Super Bowl and winning. I was the Bengals 1 year when they were already good, and I prefer a challenge with a poor team. But I did put a couple of creative players on there because I didn't want to struggle too much. I didn't want to be like a team that only won 3 or 4 games the whole season. I want to at least have a decent chance. And look, as you can see, we have to play the Broncos again. On paper, they're better than us. They're overall rating better. We have a better offense. They have a much better defense. Hopefully we can get a good start in that game because I'm not doing a good job of running away with games. I kind of did an okay job against the the Browns, but I mean, that's not saying much. Anyway, that's this video. That's how my franchise is going. Hopefully we can win out. And we pretty much have to win out if we're going to get a chance at the playoffs, because remember, there's a possibility that we can win out and still not get in.